Debbie, can everybody hear me okay? Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Let's see here. Who has to say hi, y'all? Hello. Just want to listen to some true crime stories. Yes, same. Same. How's everybody's evening going? Hello. Man, was today interesting. Each day it's just building up a little bit more. Um, I think we found out a little bit more information. I was really hoping we could get somebody on the stand to test about that day, but we did find out some information about a kind of a timeline, a rough timeline, something you guys may have already known, but so we're just waiting on Jeannie to join us. Having a good day here in Ohio. Is that Della? Yeah, it's beautiful here in California. We finally got out of our rainstorm. Hear you loud and clear. Awesome. So glad. It's just wonderful when technology actually works. Yes. Montana is nice today. Oh, very beautiful. I'd love to go to Montana. No court tomorrow. Yeah, we'll hopefully Monday's good. We'll have to see. All right, Jeannie's here. Let's add her to stream. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
How's your day?
It's going good. I was glued to the TV all day watching this trial.
Oh, this woman, I tell you, goodness.
I think she should get a Grammy for her acting skills.
Oh boy, she gave us a lot, didn't she?
Oh my gosh, she is something else. Something else. I've never well, I've seen a lot of people actually, but the way that she it's all my fault, and then she
Oh,
burst
it's
into
my
tears.
fault. It's my fault. I was pacing. It was my fault. You are
And
right.
then
It is your fault.
it is one thing, one truth she said out of there, and then 2 minutes later she's like, I just don't remember. I blacked out.
Right. She's off and running after that.
Exactly. I think both trials, both on hold Thursday, and Oscar Hun. Yes, absolutely, Sarah.
And I don't know if you heard at the very end, towards the end, she tells them, I guess Al was worried. He took the guns out of the house because he was worried when she talked about being assaulted that she might hurt herself or somebody might hurt somebody. And so he took the guns out of the house and she tells the detective, no, I've never had any mental issues. No, I've never hurt myself. I've never cut myself. I've never had any kind of mental issues at all.
Nothing like that.
I was
Nothing
like,
like that.
that's right, Leticia. You tell everybody there is nothing wrong with you mentally.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So where did we start today?
Oh,
Um,
goodness.
the detective interview, which is just some more of the same of Leticia. They met at Starbucks, and it was with Al, and then it was all recorded. It was kind of long, but they
Right.
played that, which is just kind of the same story, just it's always just a little bit different, but um,
You know what I noticed though? She was I was thinking about that. She's in Starbucks. It's her, it's Al, two detectives. She's calm. She's not
mhm,
hyper, she's not coming up and coming down, she's not freaking out, she's not manic, she's not panic. She's right on the level with Al, right? They're
mhm,
exactly
mhm,
the same amount of worried, the same amount of concerned. They seemed
mhm.
exactly in sync. I
Right,
I
right.
didn't get any red flags from her during that interview, and I thought, wow, she's
Mhm.
really good, right?
Yeah. I think that was the one time where she wasn't scream talking to kind of prove a point, 'cause a lot of times
Exactly.
she talks really fast and loud and yada, yada, yada.
Exactly. Yeah, 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 and whatever, 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 whatever. Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, whatever, whatever, whatever. Yep, yep. That is Leticia in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so she said that she last seen him at 3 or so
yeah.
because
Uh,
her favorite show was on, but she couldn't remember what her
What's your
favorite show was.
right, what's your favorite show? I don't remember. Really? You can't think of one show you could just pop in there and say it was on?
Yeah, Law& and Order, because it plays on
Anything.
repeat
Law
on,
and Order's always on somewhere, right?
exactly.
They did say, though, that the Nintendo Switch was found at the house. That was interesting. They said they could not track it, and it was found at the house. I found that interesting.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people talked about the Nintendo Switch. Was it with him? Was it in the suitcase? Where
Yeah, I
was
always thought it
it?
was in the suitcase, yeah.
Yeah, no, the detective said that yes, they found it. They found it in the house and they could not track it.
Okay,
But
okay.
that whole conversation, I just hated it because there they are. There's Al. He's giving all of this information about maybe this friend and maybe that friend. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, this man, he's sitting there thinking, okay, gonna find my son. He's just at a friend's. Maybe he's run away. Maybe something bad happened, but he's just at a friend's. He's gonna be okay.
Yeah, he'll
He's
be
sitting,
back, yeah.
and he's sitting next to this monster. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
truly a monster. Oh,
Mhm.
and I did do that, what I talked about for you. I went back and I listened to the Emmy, and I got a couple of things from her. The one thing I got, we talked about freezing, and I
Yeah.
talked to you about the blood cells bursting, the red blood cells bursting.
Yes.
I
Yes,
don't
yes.
think I don't know if she could have found it because of the decomp.
Oh, okay.
It was so advanced. There's a lot of things she couldn't see. They asked her if she could see burns on his arm. She could not because of the decomp. There were a lot of organs missing. Pancreas was missing. A lot of
Yep,
internal organs were missing, so she
yep.
couldn't see that. She may not have been able to see.
Yeah.
And also I was thinking about this. The body may not have been frozen completely, fully, all the way through. It
Mhm,
might have just
mhm.
been the outer layers, and then those outer layers, decomposed.
Sure.
So I don't know if she could have seen, the blood cells bursting like we talked about.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
because the defense was asking, could you see burns? I mean, I don't know why he was pursuing the burns, but he was.
Right, right, right.
But she couldn't see the pancreas. And she did say she thought that the progression started with the sharp force injuries. Started with the stabbing, then either the blunt force to the head or the gunshot. But either way, she thought that the sharp force injuries started first because he had defensive wounds, because he fought
Oh,
back in the
okay. Because
beginning,
he fought back.
and then he was overpowered, and yeah.
I
But yes,
always
she
think
did say there's too much decomp for a lot of things, and I thought maybe it was too much for your,
yeah, yeah.
what was that?
Well, I just I'm still running it through my head because we see in this photo. Okay, here I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna present, and I'm gonna share my screen, share screen, and entire screen. This one here. Okay. All right. Whoop. Uh, where she'll come back. Okay, so I seen this screen here. Jeannie got disconnected, so she'll come back on. Oh, okay. So here we see here. All right. All right. So on this screen, I see that he is. Oh, I have to mute my video here. You didn't mute me, did it? You guys can still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Uh, so in the video, you see him right here. Oh my gosh, right here. Oh crap. So, okay, so I didn't, this is just my video. I just pulled it up from my video. Um, we see we see that he's alive there. It kind of
Hmm.
seems like he's struggling a little bit. He Letitia
Right there.
walks by and picks something up for him. Oh, sorry. What did I do? Okay. So, and this was at 10:30 in the morning. They come back at 2:30 or what
Yeah.
the heck? What? And she was driving around. What happened? Like,
Why is
I'm
he
just,
struggling that early?
yeah, yeah. So the burns happened the day before.
Right, the fire. So she talked about the fire a lot. That was
Yes.
what happened today, which was huge. Now she talks
Yep.
about it. Do you think that that's why he was struggling? Was he more burnt than we know?
And
Well,
that's what I'm wondering. She said it was on the front and then it was on his inner arms. How she's describing it, it changes every time. And then
so
she said, it's not burns, she said, but it was skin peeling.
skin
Was it
peeling only happens after a burn.
burn?
The bubbles, and then when they pop, then you have the peeling.
Right.
So yeah, she kept saying, remember, she kept saying, I could fix this, it's my fault. I was making irrational decisions in the moment. I paced and paced and paced. She kept saying
Mhm.
Al was going to be so mad at her. He was going to be so mad. He's going to freak out. She said, I was a
Yep.
bad parent. I
Yep.
let him down
Yep.
as a bad parent. She kept saying that, right? So what if she
Right.
was trying to cover up more burns than we know?
Right. 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 That's what I'm
We don't know how.
wondering as well.
Right. She described that fire. She said smoke came up the stairs. If smoke, she said that the alarms were going up upstairs, right? She said that one of them was saying fire, fire, fire. And she comes downstairs and she sees that there's actual fire with flames on the floor. And his
Mhm.
blankets are on fire. So
Mhm.
she puts it,
Mhm.
she grabs all the blankets and puts it out. Then she's already got Lena in the truck. She grabs Gannon, puts him in the truck, and they drive because she's
Yeah.
panicked. And what she says to the detectives, I'm sorry, I lied to you because I'm a bad parent, and I knew that Al was going to freak out. And she kept saying he was going to freak out about the floor, but she also kept saying, I didn't know he was burned, and I didn't know, and I didn't know, and I was a bad parent, and I knew he was going to be mad, and I was freaking out
Mhm. Yep.
over and over and over again. And this whole story about what happened after, I'm wondering if it was the other. I'm wondering if he got really burned. You
Mhm.
showed it right there. He was struggling at 10 in the morning to get in that car.
Right.
She said
Right.
at Petco he was laying down in the back, right?
Right.
People talked about how they saw a shadow get out later. And
Right.
possibly he did.
And
Maybe go ahead.
that's what I'm wondering if he did come back just because the bullet casings were found in his pillow.
Yeah.
So he was at home. I don't
Yeah.
think that he got gunshots and was able to walk out to his car. So we have to assume that was after they returned
Right.
and he goes to lay down
Yeah.
and then whatever happens, I don't know what order or what happened, but definitely the gunshots happened back at home. So he did return,
Maybe
right?
he was right, and maybe he was. Think about that. When you get really burned, if you're really burned, you can get blood toxicity. He could have been really sick,
Yeah.
really needed the hospital, and she knew how bad in her head how bad she had messed up. She knew how I was gonna freak out, right?
Right.
And she said that she had to take care of it. I had to cover it up. I panicked. I put everything back where it was supposed to be. It's all my fault. I can fix this. She said, I paced, I paced, I paced. I was making irrational decisions in the moment. I know you don't understand, but I needed to make a decision. I couldn't go on. It was a rational decision. She kept saying this over and over and over again.
Mhm. Mhm.
Think
Yeah.
about that. If he was so burned and she couldn't take him in because she would look like a bad parent, CPS would come, right? We talked about that before.
Right.
So she goes in and what? She stabs him. and it's not
Cup.
working,
Yeah,
right?
she's yeah,
She tries to strangle him. It's not working. We know strangulation with hands is really hard. So she
right.
finally goes and gets the gun,
Yep, yep.
you know? And maybe she had given him the hydrocodone in the morning. And that's why
That's what I'm thinking.
all
Yeah,
he was all kind of dopey getting in the truck. He laid down the whole time they were gone.
yep.
Because kids, it's very hard on them to take narcotics like that. So
Sure,
so he
sure.
lays down all day. And even the ME said it would still be in his body 12 hours later. So they go running around town and he's laying back there in pain.
Mhm,
Maybe
mhm.
the burns were worse than she said because that fire she described was huge. I
Right.
mean, that was
Yep.
big.
And all
She
that
said she
carpet that she took up and the couch, all the
yeah,
fabric on the front of the couch, I mean, that's pretty massive, and she got, Lena, right? Lena? And the
Lena,
dogs
yeah,
out of the house, and then she goes downstairs to tend to Gannon. So,
yeah,
Gan
yeah. She took
Gannon's
them first.
downstairs by the fire. Why aren't we downstairs getting
That's
Gannon?
what I was thinking. She was like, I could only get one kid first. Well, how about the one that's near the fire?
Fire. Yeah,
She sees the fire, she sees Gannon, she goes upstairs to get Lena.
yeah.
We talked about how which kid was more important, which kid, She also, though, she did talk about how Al was the one that made all the decisions for his kids. She made the decisions for hers. So much so, she couldn't even call and say, you know, um, can Gannon has to stay home from school. She
Mhm.
had to text Al and say, can Gannon stay home from school tomorrow? And then Al had to call the school. That's
Right.
ridiculous.
I
I mean, they
know.
were married and raising a family together.
Mhm, mhm. He
Just,
makes
yeah,
the decision for them. Al
yeah,
does he takes care of that stuff.
yeah. And when she said that originally, I thought, yeah, that's crap. That's not true. But and maybe it was true.
Sure. Yeah, and but when she describes the fire and then she says what Gannon was saying, and Gannon just saying he was sorry, I was wondering,
Yeah.
and yet I
Think
okay,
about the
yeah.
burn video. Think about him saying, "I'm just worried about my burns."
I
What if
so
they were a lot
that's not a
worse?
small yeah, that's not a small burn. If I'm just worried about my burns, plural, bubbling
Right.
skin. And she's like, "I'm just gonna try to put some aloe on it. I didn't wanna let Al know. He's gonna think I'm a bad parent."
Yep. She said that if it turns yellow, then I'll know it's infected. I mean, she looked it up. It wasn't just a tiny little, nothing burn. She
Mhm.
researched it. She at the very least. The thing is, it was not on her Google searches. So where did she research it? On somebody else's, like on like Gannon's phone, or Gannon and Lena had a phone.
Right, right.
But she
She's
said, she said that Gannon knew he was staying home the next day, and they said, "Well, did he was he staying home because of the fire or because of the his stomach?" And she said both, but he knew that we were gonna run around and do errands, and we were gonna get that settled because he was freaked out and I was freaked out. Well, was he freaked out because he was burned up? You know?
seriously. And so her concern is to drive around the neighborhood to
Yeah.
Eduardo and get some carpet. So where did she get that carpet? Did she I'm not clear on how. I mean, of course, maybe that will come out tomorrow, but she had like a roll of carpet because she was able to replace some pieces of the carpet.
she could have
Uh,
gone to the. She could have actually gone to one of those construction sites and asked them
Ask for 'em.
because the part that she was talking about, how like every three houses are alike, it could be true. There could have
Yeah,
been carpet just like hers laying around at one of the houses. She could
yep.
have just went up and got it. I wouldn't put it
Sure.
past her. Or she said what she said to the detective was like, I was being all nice, like, hey, can you help me? I can't pay you much, but can you help me and I'll make a donation? What is I'll make a donation? What
Donation.
is that?
And I was thinking $50, a donation.
Yeah, she reminded me of Amber Heard. I was gonna donate it. He want
Yeah,
if you had Eduardo over there, girl, you would have had to pay him. You don't donate, you pay.
you pay him for his work.
Exactly. I'm not gonna put carpet down for a donation. And I don't know if it would have been $50. I doubt that, but you know, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
And
yeah.
yeah, and
Why
then of
would
course,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I don't see why she's so worried about the carpet, and so I mean, I guess I don't even know why I'm even explaining this because we know it's crap, but why would she give somebody her code? She can't make it a priority to be at home, but she just drives around. She goes to Petco twice and goes to Starbucks and just
For outfits for her dog.
yeah,
Now, I
she's
am not shaming anyone who buys outfits for their dog, but she had a
right,
little boy in the back seat that was burned and didn't feel good. At the
right,
very least, he had stomach problems. The day before, she said on the hike that he had pooped in his pants because of his stomach problems. And then she's gonna take him driving around.
right,
I mean,
right.
I mean, was Petco like? Did she have to have it?
Yeah, and go there twice to be
Yeah,
seen on camera.
yeah, exactly. You think it was about the camera?
I don't know what she was doing, and it hasn't came
Mm,
out yet. If anybody in the chat has any idea about what she was doing,
yeah.
just wandering 10:30 to 2:30,
A girl
1:30, 4 hours she's wandering around town. Why?
A girl named Tom. No, Lena is actually Al's daughter. Yes, that's right, Mooney. Lena is Al's daughter. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's all she could say was just that you know she went to Petco, Starbucks, maybe Dunkin' Donuts, and that was it. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's 4 hours. She tried to say that the Petco was a half an hour away, and then she went twice because just needed two more outfits for the dogs. Yeah,
right, right.
somebody said she was looking for an area to dump the body. That is a good idea, but I don't know if she had decided to kill him yet. Maybe she had.
Well,
Maybe
what's
she had.
funny is
Maybe
he walked out to the car, so he was alive when they left. So
yeah.
if she's trying to find somewhere for the body, did he die in the back seat? But there's no
Well,
blood in the back seat.
well, no,
They
it could have been very premeditated. It could have been his burns on his arms were so bad she knew Al couldn't see them when he came home in 3 days.
mhm.
Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? His arms
Okay.
could have been on his chest. It could have been on everything. We don't know.
Right, right,
I mean,
right.
maybe
We'll
Harley saw
never know.
them. No, I don't know. Maybe Harley saw them. I don't know if they interacted because he got burned that night and went to bed. And then let's see, the next morning she said she got Lena up, got her dressed, and put her on the bus, and then she
Mhm.
had Gannon with her, but she didn't say anything about Harley. So we don't know if Harley saw him the next morning. So we don't know if anybody else saw his burns.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she's just describing they were on the backs of his arms, and I mean, I don't know.
Right, right. And they change every time she tells the story. They weren't that bad, they were bad, and so we'll never know.
Right? Yeah. Today they weren't that bad, and well, actually today's story is about Eduardo. We haven't
Mhm.
gotten to Quincy Jones yet. This is just her first round.
Yeah.
But I think her first round, she said a lot in there that we could take out and actually use. I think a lot
Yes.
in there was real. She put a
Mhm.
lot, sometimes the lie has a lot of truth in there.
Yep.
And I think there was a lot in there that was real. She just was saying other things about it. That it's my fault. I can fix this. I panicked, put everything back where it's supposed to be. She kept telling them, I know you don't understand this, but I was making an irrational decision in the moment. I
Right,
don't know.
right,
It sounded like she was telling them the truth.
right, right. There was some truth in there. Um, she so the part that I wrote down is
Uh-huh.
her saying, "I don't wanna give you the wrong information about how I was violated."
Yeah, I wrote that down too. Are you kidding me?
She's like, "Well, did it happen this way?" And she's like, don't put words in my mouth. I
Yeah,
don't wanna give you the wrong information about how I was
was
violated.
violated.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you would know
And
how
then
you were violated."
she said, um, that there was another commotion when he tried again. There was a commotion, and he tried a commotion, and he tried again. I'm sorry, that's not a commotion. That's called sexual assault.
Right.
There was another commotion, and he tried again. And in the middle of trying again, he demanded a brown suitcase and a box. What is what? Where? What? I.
and
Oh.
got her gun. Somehow
Oh.
got her gun,
Well.
so her gun is, like, moving all around
Yeah.
and
Her gun is just everywhere. She did say, "You keep trying to fight, and they're already taking something from you that you don't have in yourself. You're so disappointed in yourself. You feel like you're nothing." Yeah.
yeah, I
I think that she actually has been maybe has experienced assault in the past. There were things that
yeah,
she put in there that sounded real.
right, right.
But in the middle of that, she's telling them. So the first round, when she told them the whole story, she talks about she heard a noise, and she was upstairs. She thought it was Gannon, and then she hears another noise. This is all about noises, right? And
Mhm.
at the end of the story, she says, "Oh," and she's attacked, and she hits her head twice, and even gets knocked out. And by the way, I had my headphones on the whole time.
I didn't really hear much.
Yeah, she's like, I had beats on, and they're really tight on my ears. I didn't hear anything. Wait, you just told us a bunch of stuff you heard. I wrote it down.
She's
I mean, I
such
know what you heard. You know?
she's the worst liar on earth. I was just gonna
Well,
work out. I wasn't paying attention to the carpet or, that's been the hottest topic, the biggest worry for her, but she's not
yeah,
paying
yeah,
attention to that. No, I'm not concerned
right,
about that. I'm just concerned that I need to get my workout and
yeah, yeah, and yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, tell us what you heard." And then she goes through what she heard, and I'm thinking again, why doesn't the detective say, "Wait, don't you have your beats on?"
yeah.
Because somebody needs to ask her about those beats. It's making me crazy.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I don't even know why she brought the beats into the conversation because keeps saying that she heard things, you
Right.
know.
Right.
And they ask during the attack, what did she hear? And she said, pleasure noises. The beats didn't drown out the pleasure noises. You need to return them
Right.
because
Yeah.
those beats aren't working.
1 second you can hear absolutely nothing. The next it's just
Yeah,
pleasure
I
noises.
don't. Yeah, I don't think she knows how beats work. So yeah,
I don't want to go into the details of I don't know how sensitive people are as far
sure,
as the topic of
sure,
essay,
yes,
but her giving her whole example of it, there was
yes,
moments of truth, and then there were moments
yes,
where it was like I, I don't know if yeah, she couldn't in her Leticia in her head, you could see she was struggling with coming
yes.
up with a complete story.
She was, and I do think that she has maybe in the past, but this she was trying to make it fit into that house, into that story, and
Right.
the whole in the middle of it, I went upstairs and I told Lena to go. Oh, I should have given her a note, and then I come back downstairs and it happens again. I really he just let you go in the middle. I
Yeah.
and when I come downstairs, then he's got a gun on Gannon. Then she says Gannon attacks him, but she doesn't finish that. Did he toss Gannon off? What did you do with Gannon? I don't know. I blacked out.
Right. Right.
I don't remember what I. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she conveniently wakes up and he's gone. And then she says, "What is it?" She says she just walked around and she panicked, 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 and she said that she knew she had to come up with a story eventually. She actually said that. Like, and did you
Yeah.
notice she asked if she could get her notes out at the beginning?
Yes.
Can I read my notes?
Right. And
Yes,
she's
she
like, "Well,
can.
when did you wake up? What time was it?" And she's like, "Well, it was Harley takes about 30 minutes to get home, so
Yeah,
it was definitely just a little bit after 4." And I think at that time she
yeah,
was, doing all this cleaning and whatever she was
yep,
doing with the
yep,
suitcase and Gannon and whatever. I really think she knew
yep,
she was on a time crunch. I'm impressed that she was even able to do all that from 2:30. Lena got off the bus at 3:15. She sends her outside. Harley gets home at 4. She sends them to get cleaning supplies, or it may have been more cleaning supplies. She may have already had some. And she finishes the cleaning.
yeah,
And I'm sure they're like, "Where's Gannon?"
yeah,
And
right.
he's out with a friend. I'm just doing some cleaning on his room.
Did you
That's
notice that she talked about the box?
the
I think
box.
that's the yeah, she said she gave him a box. Do you remember the particle board?
Oh, I do remember the particle board, but I didn't hear that. I must have been
Yeah, she
moving
said that
around.
he asked for strangely, he asked for a suitcase and a box. I don't
I,
know. It's like Santa Claus showed up at her house and he wanted a suitcase and a box. So she said okay, and she said that then she thought that he was going to rob her or maybe pack up all her stuff. That's what she said. And then he didn't rob her. He knocked her. He tried to assault her, knocked her out again, and when she woke up, he was gone. So
right,
yeah, but she gave him a box, and they asked what kind, and she couldn't really describe it, but it was brown. I wonder if there's
right,
particle board in there because remember that has to come in there somewhere because it gets up on County Road 105.
right, right.
Yeah.
How and when did it? It probably was when she went to go pick him up, is my thought.
Yes.
But when you see this truck leave, it looks like there's something in the back. Um, and it looks like a suitcase. So I
In the
don't
bed
know.
of it.
In the bed of the truck. I don't think,
Uh,
let me see if I can. I don't think I play it when they pull out, or I probably do, but it's later in the clip, so I'll have to find it. But um yeah, I hold on, let me see. Hold on. She backs up when she gets back, and it looks, I don't know, I can't tell. I have some of her internet searches, which are
and
703. We talked again about six. Someone posted.
you
Scroll.
read the letter.
Yeah, I read both of those letters,
Do you
and
think the second one is actually her?
here, let me put them on the screen. Let me screen share. Let me put this down, and I have them pulled up. So let's see. Where are they? Not that.
Lauren, there is no way. Lauren said that they have an expert that says she has DID. I truly hope they don't do that, Lauren. That is a serious diagnosis, and I don't want them to drag that in there just so that she can muck around with it. I have
Oh
a
yeah,
friend. I have a friend that has DID, and I do not want them to just play with that diagnosis like it's nothing.
right,
That's just cruel. Yeah.
right,
Mm-mm.
right. Yeah,
There's no
that's
way she has that. She has said across the board that she has no mental illnesses at all. We've heard. I've heard interviews. She told the detective she didn't have any. You know, no. Maybe that's why they were asking about Marie and Jasmine. Oh, I hope that's not what it is. Good grief.
so
Okay,
this
what do we
one. So
got?
this one was
First one.
dated. Yeah, this was dated 2/21/21, and then this one was 8/12/2020. So you can see that her writing is small on her first letter because this is 2020. This is
And she signs it Dr. Letecia Stauch. And the first one is very um uh the only way I could
bubbly like.
describe it is it's very Tisha. It's very it's not exactly entitled, but it's like I believe in justice and the law and the flag and honor and duty and she acts like she's a soldier ready to go off to war.
Right.
Literally.
Yes.
And then
My
this one,
country.
yeah, she makes you want to stand up and salute, or
Right.
do the Pledge of Allegiance or something.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
second one just seems like just a normal criminal who's in jail.
Mhm.
I don't see her behind it except a lot of those things in there refer to her.
Mhm.
Don't know.
She was, they couldn't let, I mean, this is about her getting bond, and there's no way that she would run to anywhere she could go to evade charges. I mean,
Oh, and yeah. Oh, go ahead.
she already ran basically across the
Yeah.
country, so there's no way that she wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
That judge was not letting her out.
Miss Erica about her degree. So in that first letter, she talks about having an ED. instead of PhD. I looked that up, and I'm not sure if any of you have it. You very well may. It's an education doctorate. So instead of having a PhD, if she has it, she would have a doctorate in education, and it's supposed to be only 3 years to get, as opposed to a PhD. You don't write you don't write a thesis, like you don't have to write a book at the end, and it's geared
Oh, right
specifically
here.
for education. So it's geared specifically for education. People that do it usually become professors, or maybe the dean of a school, that sort of thing. Um, but I don't want to say it's easier than a PhD, but it does take less time. So that's what she says she has right there. She says she wants to.
My life is on the line. I'm innocent and I'm ready to return home and use the doctorate degree that I worked diligently for, uh, and cannot do it if I'm not afforded the right, if I'm not fighting for my life daily. I'm clearly not a threat to myself. You are a flight risk. Who cares if you're a threat to yourself? Take yourself. I'm terrible. Oh gosh. Yeah,
The whole letter, boy. Yeah, it's hard to read without wanting to stand up and salute the flag. Yeah.
exactly. So let's see here. It's the second one, she has it very laid out, almost like a PowerPoint, like
Yeah, like a
my judge,
presentation. Yeah.
overlooking statue and evidence, my evidence, innocent of, oh, inconsiderate, what? Inconsiderate of evidence. Okay. Communication is broken beyond repair.
She's just, yeah,
Leticia.
it's a bit much. In this one, she kind of talks about how she wants to represent herself, because her lawyers are working with the DA. Her, the lawyers have done her wrong, and they haven't gotten the witnesses that she wanted, and the PI isn't helping her either, and everybody's colluding against her. So she wants to represent herself. The
Mm-hmm.
first one she talked about getting poisoned daily. She
Yeah.
talked about having to drink inshore for like 2 weeks because someone was poisoning her food.
Right. Right.
She doesn't really talk about that in the second one. I guess they stopped poisoning her, but she just talks about how nobody's representing her, nobody's helping her, um, and yeah, that she wants to represent herself. But I mean, she's not trying it. She's not out there. So
Right, right. She's not doing it, so
yeah,
she came to her senses.
yeah. Somebody grabbed her and said, "No, no, no, come back here."
Exactly. Um, all right. So I don't is there anything else that you wanted to cover on the letters?
Oh, the letters. Let's see. I'm thinking.
Oh, right here is the peanut butter thing. I've had to be uninsured for 2 weeks due to the poison comments, and just recently on 8/11/2020, I received threats in my peanut butter. I received threats in my peanut butter
It's
because I
starts with
provided
peanut butter.
evidence of not only my innocence, but evidence that will show who did it. And through my PI, as a result of this, I assume their rumors use people, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'd like to see those. Is it like a note in her peanut butter? Like a
I'm
glass?
wondering. I'm wondering. Like, what's the threat? Like, is it?
Or it says die, like they like
Uh,
smushed it down with
just
their finger.
exactly. I don't know. Like, I think their peanut butter comes in a little tube, doesn't it? I mean, I don't
You
know.
you would think, or like a peanut butter cup. I doubt it's just like a glob, but who knows?
Does anybody know in here? Um,
They put a note on they wrote on the outside of the peanut butter packet.
they might
Mm.
have. Um, yeah. I honestly, my problem is I saying it's her.
No,
I can't, the only way I
you're
can verify is if she actually said she wrote it, and she's not
you were
saying
breaking up.
anything.
Could you
So
repeat that?
I
You were
mean,
breaking up. Can you?
oh, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was just saying that my only problem is that the second note doesn't sound like the first note. It doesn't sound like her, and she didn't, and the signature's not the same. But the only way to verify it, a lot of the news reports are saying it's her. The second one, the only way to
Mhm.
verify it would be if she said it was her, and she's not talking. So
Right.
you
Right.
know,
I don't
so
think she has anybody around her to write it for, does she? Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like they put her by herself.
I would assume they put her in solitaire. I mean, when trials come up like this, they usually do, but I don't know.
Yeah. Remember, she was like, I think I might have that clip in my video as well, when she had her first hearing and she was like flicking on and off the light switch and like swaying her hair. And she was
Yes,
just,
too
she,
much.
too much. Who is that? Fauci? Fauci
Fucci,
kid? Fucci. Fucci.
Aiden Fucci, who went away for life.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
he
he
sat
did
there
the
being
same
an
thing.
idiot.
Yes.
Yep, sat there
Oh, where
swinging his
am
hair.
I? Where am I?
Yeah,
We should put them. Maybe I'll create a clip of them two side by side
put them
because
together.
yes, it's the same. This is how you fake insanity. So if you are in trouble, don't do this.
This is how you get life in prison, folks.
Exactly. I'm not going to start squatting nut jokes. I'm going to time out.
I wonder, she asked at the end of the first letter if there's any way she could find out, like, can I get a response knowing you got the letter? What's the judge
Hmm.
supposed to do? Write her back a note? Yes, I received your letter. Doesn't
Right.
work that way, girly.
No, it's not text messaging or
Yeah,
what is that? A pen pal.
yeah. The judge's not gonna reply.
I guess he could communicate through a lawyer, but I don't know. He
Yeah.
received their letter, whatever.
Did you? I don't know if you knew. Did you know that the day of the fire that was Lena's birthday?
I know. I did hear
Isn't
that.
that terrible?
Yeah, and she's like, I let her stay up a little bit later, and because we did a lot for Gannon's birthday.
Yeah.
And she did say that she took some anxiety medicine. She took
Yeah.
it
I
in.
just wanted to let you know I took some lorazepam, and she didn't say when.
She
I
said
went
she took it.
upstairs. So I went
She's
upstairs, went into the cabinet, and I took some lorazepam, and I was thinking during, after the first time, after the second time, before you went down there. Did she say when?
She said she took it in the she said at two different times. I thought that's what I heard, that she took it in the morning and then she took it in the evening as well. And she thought it was weird that the cupboard was open when she went to go get it.
So it was before. Maybe she was setting up that. Well, I took lorazepam, so I couldn't remember. Lorazepam is not that strong, ma'am. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm,
It's
no.
not that
So
strong. You weren't talking about taking any Xanax or anything like that. So no Seroquel. She wasn't taking anything like that. So
did she need that to keep the strength to do whatever she was going to do next?
yeah, you gotta
If there
wonder.
if there is some truth in her taking that medication, did she take it in the morning because she was so stressed, and then she took it in the evening because she knew she's driving around town trying to figure out something. She gets home, she's like, I need to calm down, and then
Maybe that's
does
why she was driving around. You asked what was she doing for 4 hours, but
yeah.
this is like the third time I've heard this. She talked to Al about this. She talked to the detectives about this. Every time someone asked her, "Where were you?" she says, "I was driving around thinking." She's one of those people that drives. So
Mhm.
what if that's what she was doing with Gannon all morning? Driving around thinking, what am I going to do with this kid?
Yep. Yep.
How am I going to do this? What am I going to do? How
Right.
am I going to, instead of pacing in your living room, she's driving around.
Round. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she's one of the drivers. Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about her being out. I'm wondering if something will come out later. Was it just her driving around and thinking and plotting and coming up with a plan? Why did she
She
go
might.
back to Petco? You know, there's just something off about her transactions.
Do we
So
know if Petco is near the County 105?
I did a map. I'll have it for next time, but I did a map of the route that she took.
Mm,
So I'll pull that up for
if you
next
can
time.
find it. Sure, yeah,
Yeah, it'll
yeah.
take me a minute to find it. I have to go through my
Oh, yeah,
video.
it's fine.
So um
Bree Johnson, I'm so sorry that you're getting your son and your husband and your whole family dragged into this. And I don't know if you saw this, Kim, but she said that Gannon's body was dumped near them too. So her son's name is
oh,
Gannon, her husband's in the military, and the body was dumped near them. I'm so sorry, Miss Bree. I'm glad you're here. I'm very glad you're here with us. Yeah,
seriously, wow.
yeah.
Wow, that's way
It's a
close to
lot.
home.
It's a lot to put on your family. I am so sorry.
Right, right.
Yeah.
The doctor gave me Xanax and I talked what?
What
I
was
talked
that?
to my I'm looking at oh, here,
Talk
I'll
to
put it
my
on.
what?
I talked to my dryer for
Talk to
hours
for hours. Did you?
and then slept 24 hours straight.
Well, there you go. See, it's a good thing she didn't have that. She was
Oh,
talking about lorazepam, right? Exactly. It's just a little bit of Valium. It's way weaker.
yeah, it's just
She's
a
not.
little bit. Oh my gosh. Let's see.
No, see, yeah, Cal. Did she put earplugs in during her interview? See, I can't see it very well. I'm not really seeing her. The way that my TV is and my laptop, I can't really see her in that little bitty thing. Cal said she put earplugs in during her interview. I
She
didn't see that.
no, I didn't see that either.
No, Tammy. Lorazepam isn't generic Xanax. It's actually generic Valium. But it's not very strong. But I don't know if she was saying that was supposed to negate, like she was trying to say, oh, I can't remember because of that. She didn't say that. She kept saying she kept getting knocked on the head. She
Mhm.
kept saying that she kept getting her head knocked against the table and she got knocked out or she blacked out.
Right.
Yes, she
Right.
can't base her actions, that's for sure.
Oh, that's for sure. Absolutely. She's in a panic. How do I keep my husband? How do I
Yep,
fix what I did?
yep.
Um,
This is my
pacing,
fault. I'm about to repair
thinking,
it.
running
Yep,
up and down the stairs, in and out of the garage, cleaning,
yep,
and just
yep.
doing the most. She was
Yes, she was.
exhausted.
Yes, she was. Well, and she was talking about when they said, well, how did Gannon look after? Because this supposedly her attack supposedly took place in his room, right? So they
Mhm.
wanted to know how did the room look after? She's like, oh, I put everything back where it's supposed to be. I
Yeah.
always put everything back where it's supposed to be. And
Yep.
she told them there was blood on the wall because of his burns. I could fix it. I could fix this. It's all my fault, but I could fix this.
Yeah.
I could fix it by erasing the kid. It,
Sure. Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So I guess we didn't find out too much, but I do feel like there's a little bit of truth in how she said everything went down with the attack. If we
yeah.
replace him attacking her with
Hmm.
her attacking Gannon, you know,
Yep,
he was attacking me and then we took a break and then he
yep,
started attacking me again. If you replace
yep.
he with I was attacking Gannon, then
Sure, put
that
it
would
that
make
way. Go
that
ahead.
that would that would make sense for how much she did. She worked on it the first time, it didn't
Yeah.
work, so then she went back down for more. I
Yep.
don't know.
Exactly right, because we talked about that. She started with sharp force, the knife or the scissors. She thought
Right?
that was done. She goes upstairs. She's pacing, pacing, pacing. She's still freaking out because Lena's gonna come home. Pacing, pacing, pacing. Comes back down. He's not gone. Maybe she tries the strangulation then, or maybe she tried it before. But then she comes back down, and you're right. She does describe it. She just describes it backwards.
Right, right.
She went upstairs. She told Lena, go outside for a minute. Go to the mailbox. Just give me a minute. goes
Right.
back down and finishes it. You're right. She broke it up in two parts and she put herself in it, but it was the other way. You're right. All we have to do is flip it around. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking because
Yeah.
there's always truth and lies because that's the only
Sure.
way your brain works to create a story and what makes sense. So I'm interested if that's exactly what I'm closing arguments. I am going to be glued. Like, what is the theory based on all the information? Because we're listening to it and I lose so much information. You guys bring stuff up. Jeannie, you bring stuff up, and I'm like, I didn't even hear that. Like, I'm watching it, and I'm missing it. In the earplugs, I didn't
Yeah.
see that. I didn't see. I did see her doing some weird things with the tissues. They weren't in her pants though. It was like she put them into her. She had like a jacket or sweater coat or something on it, something blue, right? Like a blue jacket
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So I did see her do that, and then she was all upset. Are you taking my drink? Are you taking my water
Oh
bottle?
yeah, they were like, "Are you done with that?" She's like, "No, no, I'll get rid of it." They're like, "We recycle." She's like, "I recycle too." They wanted that DNA.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They were like, "We can take that. We can take that." She's like, "Oh no, I can take it."
Right,
And
right,
I don't even know if she did it because of DNA. She might just be so OCD that she has to throw her own things away. But yeah, I thought the
right.
same thing. She ain't giving you that bottle. You can just walk away.
Exactly,
Yeah, and
exactly.
she kept pushing. She was like, "They said I could go. Are you trying to keep me here?" Pushing, pushing, pushing. That detective was like, "Can you just give me a minute?" No, what? Are you keeping me here? I'm not riding over there with police. Are you keeping me? Oh my goodness,
Mhm,
that poor
mhm.
detective. I was like, "She's not staying. You're gonna have to let her go."
Right, right.
Wow.
So in the whole thing, did you see her cry more than once?
No, no, no. I
It
don't
was
even know
just
she had. I didn't even know she had tears. She just
no.
had that, it just, and he just,
It,
like
it
that.
was my it was my
It was all my
fault
fault.
because I gave him the code and Al's gonna kill. I didn't know what to tell him that I gave him the code.
It's all on me, and I don't know if it's just my fault. Yeah, that. Yeah, I mean, we could do it.
And then she goes right back to how you're talking now.
And then she did. She exactly did because they
Mhm.
started talking about other things, and so then she chills out. Then they start talking about it again, and she kind of ramps up a little. But we've already
Mhm.
seen her do it on the newscast.
Right.
They
Right.
put their reporter in first to show. But guess what? Leticia knows how to cry on cue. So
Yep.
here
She
you go.
does.
Which was brilliant that they showed that first. Yeah.
Um it was interesting, Cal, when she was trying to leave the room and they were really trying to keep her there.
Oh yeah.
And then just on her own, before they were like, you're not leaving. You have DNA evidence on you. We're just waiting on
Yeah.
the warrant. So wait here, which is interesting that they could do that.
Is that what they said? Because I missed that. I was coming
Is
here. Is that what they said to her at the end?
Yeah, the very, very end. Yeah. I
Okay. I
almost
missed
need
it.
to make this a half hour after the case so we can get it,
Yeah.
all figured out because I was like scrambling at the end too. But they
So
did
they
say that
told her you need to wait.
yep, that they're waiting on
Oh,
the
the warrant for
the
DNA.
warrant for because she has evidence on her body because she was attacked
Yeah.
apparently. But then
Oh,
I don't know what happened after that. I guess we'll find out tomorrow because she says she has chest pain from what we know from the affidavit that she started having chest pain so they took her there and then she was going to get the exam and then she ended up bailing out of the
Kim, I know
hospital.
that's why she put the Kleenex in her pants.
Yeah,
Because she pretended to cry on them and she got snot, she got whatever on them. She didn't want them to have her DNA, so she put
right,
them in her pants. Is that what you were
right.
talking about? Okay.
Yeah,
Because you kept
yeah,
telling me about the tissue in her pants, and I didn't understand why. That was why, right? Okay.
yes. Yeah,
All
she
right.
was
Got it.
yeah, don't take my water bottle, don't take my tissues. It's so
Got you. Because I don't
sketch.
want you to have any of me, which is stupid. Her DNA's all over her house.
It's everywhere.
They're
Her
probably out.
toothbrush.
Yeah, they probably already had her toothbrush and her hairbrush, and yeah. Okay. So,
Yep.
but my question is, how could they get a warrant for what's on her? Doesn't she have to willingly give that? That makes me curious. I mean, we
Or
know
maybe
she
it's a
was.
phone warrant. Maybe Nancy Moon said it was,
Oh,
a
that was
phone
the
warrant.
phone. That's right. They wanted her phone. That's right. And
Yep,
so that's right. They didn't want her. Okay. That's right.
yep,
Sorry
they
about
definitely
that.
did.
Thank you, Mooney. I appreciate that because I was thinking, how can they get a warrant for what's on her body? I don't think they can, but that's right. It was for her phone. They just didn't want her to leave, and that was funny when she was trying to get that 360 up, and the cop was like, "Oh, let me see it," and then she's like, "Do you have a password?" And she was like, "I can put it in," and she's like, "Oh no, no."
Yep,
Like, yeah,
yep.
she's not letting you have that password.
Nope, nope. She's like, "Oh, it locked. What's your password?" Which
Yeah,
was something, yeah.
that was
Uh,
hilarious. I'm like, yeah, she's not giving you that.
which the officer was brilliant for,
Oh,
asking that. They are sly. They are
she was
sly.
really good. They were really, really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
she said to her, I've handled, she said that she's been part of the sexual assault, what was it, sexual victims unit, and she's like, and I know that this is hard to talk about, but I need to ask you these questions. I need these specifics. I was because she was ready to go. She's like, okay, I told you everything. I'm gone. She's like, nope,
Mhm.
I need to
No.
ask you these things. Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah. Um,
Spouses.
the jab was saying that if they asked for immunity, their husband would call law enforcement immediately.
Yes. But
I
if you're
don't know. What would mine
right.
do? If I asked for immunity, what would you do?
Cool.
Anything. If I just called you and said I need immunity, what would you do? Or you say what you would ask me what I did.
What did you do?
So apparently it depends. I think so too, Christine. I think she's gonna toss her daughter under the bus. That's my fear. My fear is that when Harley gets up there, that yeah, that Harley is in big trouble because I don't think the the defense is gonna be nice to her at all.
You think so? Well, I don't think the defense is going to be nice, but think I don't know. I think Letitia's gonna I don't know. I think that she has a
Yeah,
soft spot for Harley. I just do. I don't know. I could be wrong.
maybe. I don't know.
She comes up
Depends
so
on
often. It was her confidant. It was
yeah,
she was her person in this whole thing. I mean, she was older. She was able to drive. She was a resource for her. So it could just be that, but it almost seemed
yeah,
like that was her person. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm really interested. I hope, like, if she has an ounce of goodness in her, I hope she does not do that to Harley. It's so
yeah.
shitty. So
Yeah.
shitty if she does
I,
that.
I think it I think it might matter too if they've had any contact between now and then. Her
Yeah.
brother hadn't, and that was her brother's choice, but Harley could reach out at any time, through her lawyers, just through the mail, probably
Yeah.
through visits, but
Right. Right.
yeah. But yeah. I
Harley's
yeah.
scared of
The jab
crazy
said I
mom.
hope Harley plays the scared of crazy mom card. She
Yep.
probably is actually scared of the crazy mom jab. The jab I would be. Yeah.
I would too. And I think part of it she was. Sh this was out of this was so out of their personality, their home life. There wasn't violence. There wasn't domestic violence.
Mm-mm.
There wasn't a constant fear of
Nope.
things. So this is
No
so left
drugs,
field.
no
No drugs, no
no
people in and out of
no
the
upheaval,
house.
nothing like that. Mm-mm.
Nothing like that. No. So maybe some mental,
There
definitely,
might have been, sure,
but
weirdness, but
weirdness, yeah. When you live in an environment that is surrounded by crime and pain and beatings and alcoholism
yeah,
and all that, then this may not be so far fetched for you. I mean, it is far
yeah,
fetched, but you just build
it
up.
wouldn't
This
be.
is
Yep.
yeah. But Harley, what? You killed my little brother?
Yeah.
You were just a school teacher. I'm just going to
Yeah.
my massage. What is she, a massage parlor
Well,
clerk
she
or
was at
something?
the time, which is weird. She was in the massage parlor. She was signed up for the Air Force, and none. I don't think any of that's happening now. I don't think so. I don't
No, I
know.
don't think so either.
You know.
I don't think, but I could be wrong. She was on her TikTok saying she just got a new job. So
Did
I
she
definitely
say what it was? She didn't say,
She
did
didn't
she?
say no, she didn't say where it was. She just said, "I was so excited to get this
Oh,
job, and guess
okay.
what? I got it." So I'm pretty sure she didn't go into the Air Force. I think that would be very
Got you.
difficult doing all that, dealing with her mom's stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and having to be here, being
sure.
under a subpoena. I mean, I don't think she could go away really.
Yeah.
So,
I think she because she's testifying for the prosecution, I 100% believe she got immunity. Like there's no question in my mind that she didn't get
yeah.
immunity if she was
Well, they
even
haven't
involved
filed any
at all.
charges. So,
No.
right.
No, they
Well,
haven't.
and I
So,
looked at the complaint. I mean, I looked at the complaint. I looked at everything that Leticia has out there. Harley's not listed in anything. She's not listed as a joint. She's not listed as, this and this happened with her. She's not listed on there. So,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
according to them, they don't think she's involved. In nothing I've seen, unless they have something under seal. But they would have to have brought it out already. Charges for her.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
I haven't
That's what
seen
I'm thinking
anything.
as
I
well.
don't think so.
I don't think
Yeah.
so either. So how did we finish? Oh, I did hear them say that the code for the alarm
Uh,
was Gannon's birthday, and I find that so
uh,
poetic
yeah,
that
yeah,
that his birthday was assigned to their alarm. I don't know why. It's like emergency. It's like he's
yeah.
speaking from, I don't know. Is that weird? Am I
No, it's exactly what I thought. That is exactly what I thought. I was like, you got to be kidding me. His birthday was the code for the alarm system. Are you kidding me?
right?
Like,
Right.
come on.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me you're making that up.
Right. Right.
I mean, they had three kids, and they had dogs, and they had all these things that they could have made it, and it was Gannon's birthday.
His birthday.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. So I wonder, that shows that he was important to the household, and that just holds
Exactly.
up to everybody saying how jealous Letitia may have been of Gannon in
Yeah.
his relationship with his kids, putting them before her.
Well, it may have been this. Remember, she we have acknowledged that she had a bad father, right? We
Mhm.
acknowledged that he was an alcoholic. He was in the war. He came back really damaged. That
Yep.
happens.
Yep.
Happens to a lot of soldiers. We recognize that. And he came back and he hurt her. We believe
Right.
that.
Right.
Well, and then here we have Gannon and we've got Al. And Al also has a father who is exactly the same,
Same.
right?
Right.
He
Right.
has a father whose name he has, and he doesn't even recognize his own first name because it's his father's name. That's how bad it is. And so, what does Al do when Gannon had to come to live with them because there were some issues with his mom? He puts him
Right.
in counseling. That's
Yeah.
how much he loves his son. So
Right.
how did that feel for her? Her father was that bad, and this boy, his daddy loves him so much, she puts him in counseling.
Right.
That had to that had to strike something in her.
Yeah. She's on the streets at 16 years old.
Exactly. Nobody
Five
took
years.
care of her when she was that age. Well, I mean,
Right.
her mama tried. I'm not saying anything against her mama. I'm not.
Right.
But
Right.
things happened, and she didn't get taken care of. You know. And
Right.
yeah, she was on the streets at 16, and she didn't get counseling. She didn't have a daddy that cared like Al.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
I bet they kind of kicked her in the gut a little bit.
Sure.
There's Gannon being taken care of.
Yep. Yep. And who's taking care of me? You
But who
know.
took
And
care of me? Nobody. So
nope. Yeah. Oh, this woman. She was
I
making me
know.
so angry. Her voice. I just cannot wait until these interviews are over because
Because that's all you hear all day.
yeah, I'm like everything she says is crap. So it doesn't we're just listening to the same crap over and over again. Can we please move on from the crap? Give us some facts. Give
All
us
day
some
long.
yeah, some
Exactly.
technology, some DNA, some give us some juice, give us some family members of the timeline. Like I'm waiting for those moments. That's going to give us definitely something to talk about.
When the judge actually gave us a minute to stand up and stretch, I did. And then I sat
Um,
back down and fast
same.
forwarded. I mean, I was a little bit behind, but I said,
Yep.
"Thank you, Judge." I stood up, fast forwarded. I was like, y'all,
Yes.
I don't even know what you're doing in that courtroom. This is terrible.
This is so
We're all in it
long.
together. This
Right.
is so long.
And it's the same story. You know, we've heard it. We've heard it on the phone
Right.
call, we've heard it in the police, we've heard it so many times. Can we please just
We heard
cut
it from
this out?
Al.
Can they
We
fast
heard it from
forward just
Al.
until the end where she's, like, freaking out about, "I wanna leave and give me my water bottle." That's the stuff that really stood out.
Right. I did like the investigator, Jessica Bethel. I did like her. She was so no nonsense, right? Here she
Mhm.
is, 14 years. She's this lead detective on this case, and now she's a stay-at-home mom. I mean, that's awesome. That rocks, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, absolutely.
she came in, she did her thing, and she's telling us that, there she is. It's like 2 days in, and Leticia calls her complaining about herself. And she says, so I asked her, do you have anything that's going to help me find Gannon? Leticia says, no. She says, well, then I got to go. I have a job to do. I'm trying to find Gannon. I got to go. I mean,
I
I
got
loved
yeah.
her. Yeah. I was like, I like that lady. I really do.
I do too. I do too. I think she's really good at her job. I think she talked to her well to make her feel comfortable, like she was believed, like Leticia was
Oh, yeah.
believed, um,
Hmm.
which it wasn't making sense to anybody outside of that room. Maybe somebody in the chat can disagree with me, but her story is just so unbelievable, and
Oh, yeah.
the detective hearing it for the first time is like, okay, so what happened next?
Yeah. Exactly.
And then when she reads it back to her, all the
Oh,
steps that
yeah.
Leticia told her, it was
Yeah.
just like, and then Leticia would add, like, I was just really scared, or I was, and the lady's like, okay, but then this happened.
Right. And she's like, well, maybe it was 4:45, maybe 4:30. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. None of this happened. We don't care
Mm-hmm.
what time it was. You
Yep.
need to move on and tell the actual truth.
Right. 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 But I think there is some truth in there. I don't know.
Oh, there definitely is.
I'm gonna stick by that, and I'm gonna go with that because I really didn't think he returned to the house because of that 4 hours of her just wandering around doing
Right.
nothing. She may have been scoping out a place for Gannon because
Yep.
it does look like she went over in that area where the particle board was found.
Yeah.
And so, premeditated for sure, got home, didn't want to do it in the truck. I don't
Yeah.
know. Uh, I don't know. There's so many blanks.
I think too, though, she was just talking, you know.
Hmm.
Technology, yes, you can. You can watch it back. It's on Nine News and it's on Law Crime. Um, Nine News has the screen behind it, so you can actually see stuff. It's not very good. The screen isn't very good, but you can see stuff. But yeah, Nine News is the channel, and though that's the one I watch. You can watch Long Crime, either one. But yeah, they have every day, and yeah, they tell you when breaks are, when lunch is. I
What
actually ate my lunch when they went to lunch. I felt like I was juror today.
right? Well, I always try to start it later so I can fast forward a little bit, but today I was like I don't know. Yeah, well,
Me
yeah,
too.
right to the last minute,
I
and
was
then
I was 2 on time.
yeah, exactly. Which is, I don't know, maybe we need to make it a couple. Well, I make it at 5:15 their time, so we have 15 minutes to kind of get ready. But yeah, when it runs over a little bit, because life in this trial is a full-time job.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh, Bree, you're welcome. This is fun for me. These videos are not my top videos. They're actually bringing my demographics down, but I enjoy doing it. This is something that I am so passionate about and interested in doing. So
Yeah.
I'm committed. I'll be here every day while they're in court, should I say, covering it and talking about it just because I'm so fascinated by it.
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated by it because it's so out of character. It's so odd,
It
Well,
is.
I'm fascinated with other cases as well, that are, you can
Yeah.
kind of see it was headed that direction, but this one just really got me. I never got into the Chris Watts case. I, I, I was not really interested in that. It was kind of like this one, but I just was like, that guy's a douche. He did it, just kind of like moved on with my life. But um,
If
it
he
was
had gone to court,
everywhere.
it might have been different, you know?
Maybe,
If
maybe.
he'd gone to court and we could, pulled his life apart, found all the
Sure.
pieces, put it back together,
Yeah,
kind of like we do
true.
now. Oh, you are so welcome, Mashi. You are most welcome. Yeah. But yeah, and you're right, Bree. If you see something, say something. Absolutely. In this case, I'm not sure anybody could have. I don't think anything. I don't think anything built up to it. I don't think he was being abused on a regular basis. I don't think he was being abused at all. I think something happened, and then
Mm-hmm.
she didn't know how to handle it, and she went the wrong way. The wrong
Yep.
way. You know.
Yep. Yep.
We
Absolutely.
see a lot how it does build up. Abuse does start small. We see that, but we don't
Mm-hmm.
see any of that here.
Right.
Like Kim was
Right.
saying, there are no signs, and like she said, they had a very stable home. They didn't move around a lot. They did
Right.
move some for the military, but that's normal, but they did have a stable environment. Gannon
It,
seemed happy, you know.
yeah. His teachers, they had nothing but nice things to say about him, that he was patient, he was kind, a
Yeah,
caring person that thought about other people. That's not a troubled kid. This isn't a vengeant kid out for their stepmom. So, is the
right.
way that she described it earlier on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And all of her searches were terrible. They were, um, what do you do when you're the stepmom and the mom doesn't help, or what do you do when you're
Yep.
the stepmom and you're always raising the kids? And yep, she had some grudges, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Let me see here. I'll pull them up on the screen if I can find them. Oh, right here. Okay. Let's see here.
yeah, Brie, it's possible she did have issues being the stepmom and having to take care of them, and the fact that in her eyes Landon wasn't doing enough. She very well may have hated him. There's a lot. She was trying to convince Al that he was after her, which, come on, he was a tiny little kid. Even Al said it. He was a tiny little kid. That wasn't in his nature. Oh, here's our searches.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Mom advice for a stepmom. If you aren't involved in your kid's life, you are shitty. My
Mhm.
husband's ex-wife does nothing for her kids. I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a card since I raise her kids. These searches.
These are
Who
searches.
what is Google going to tell her
Yeah.
about the step or the
Google can't
um,
help her with this. Somebody needs to explain to her what Google does.
exactly. I wonder.
Google could find you in prison. Google can give me your number. Google can tell me how to write to you and where you are. That's what Google did for me, Leticia. That's what it did. It can't do these things.
Right. Find me a rich guy who wants me to take care of his kids.
Oh, so she can take care of kids as long as the guy's rich.
Find a guy who wants me to take care of his kid. Okay. It,
And
it's
get paid.
crappy some parents don't care for their kids or buy them presents. She hated Landon. My son burned the carpet. How do I fix it?
Oh,
Will
see?
humi- will humidifier help if exposed to smoke? Smoke effects with humidifier help. Smoke from fire effects. Colorado law of kids staying at home. She wanted to leave. She wanted to go to work. I bet to get an
Yeah.
alibi. I'm not sure. But at this
Well,
point, he was just burned, as far as we know.
yeah. She was also talking about part of those searches are because she was wanting to work at Spirit. And, Al wasn't there to watch the kids. She
Yep.
was wanting to work and he wasn't there. Look at that last one. Son's sick. Can he stay at home? How
Right.
does Google help her with that? son is sick, and but I have to go to work.
Doesn't say his age, doesn't give
No.
it, just my son, that one. Google.
And by yeah, and by the end, by that time, she wasn't working. Wasn't she fired?
She I it, what that is so confusing because she
She
calls in to say no. She wasn't fired then because she calls in, she was fired by the next week. But um but at that time, remember the vice principal and her were having the conversation. She said that her stepdad died.
Oh,
No,
that's right. That's
yep.
right.
And so in the step, the not the step, the vice principal was like, "Do you need me to find you a replacement?" And Leticia was like, "I think that speaks for itself. I think it's, whatever she said, all huffy puffy of her lie, her
Yeah.
story that's not even true. She's huffy puffy with her. And she's like, I assume you would know that." And the vice principal's like, "Well, I don't want to make assumptions here. You have to give me guidance." So she definitely wasn't fired then, but I bet you by the next week she was fired.
Yeah. Well, hang on a second.
Oh,
Um,
number 12. Why should my husband choose me over our family? Let's see that.
see, see
Oh,
that
yeah.
one. Well, and she said when she went into that interview, she told them that the reason that she lied to Al about the car was that she was still wanted she wanted to work for Spirit. That's why she parked the car at the airport. But she didn't want Al to know that because Al didn't want her to like leave the school yet. So she told him the car was at the school to kind of smooth things over with him. Because if she told him it was at the airport, it would cause a fight.
Right.
Now, riddle me this: why would it cause a fight if you didn't actually change jobs? You know?
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Yes, Tammy, I believe the bio mom was trying to. I do. Landon was trying. She was trying to get better. She was trying. Um,
And I say this all the time. If you're not capable of taking care of your children, don't keep them just to keep them. And why should it be, and I find this so messed up that he's with his father. Why are we in a society where that's bad? He's a
right.
parent too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have any rights. It's
Mm-mm.
always the woman's job. Is I think that's a
You're right.
little that's so old school. A dad is more than capable.
Yeah.
He was doing a great job. He did not see this coming. He didn't put
Uh-uh.
his son purposely in danger. He was taking very good care of him. And
Yeah.
the ex-wife said, "I can't do it. I need to get myself better." There is nothing wrong with that. And people
No.
who send her hate,
Yeah.
it's like the best decision she made was to send her son to a healthy environment. So,
Yeah.
oh, I get fired up when people point their finger at her. It's like
I
she's
do
doing her
too.
best and he's the dad. He can take care of his children.
Uh,
Why is it so weird for a dad to take care of his children?
Right. And how is it that, women take care of their children all the time when the dad can't? And that's okay. No one complains. No one says
Right,
a word. And even
right,
if those children die in the woman's care, no one still says a word.
right. Where was
Still.
the dad? Why?
Nobody says that. you
And
know?
we've seen,
This
sorry,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, no, go
We
ahead.
we see cases where dad has the kid and the mom gets tried for abandoning her child.
Yep,
But
exactly.
how many times do you see the dad being in
Never.
charge for not being involved? It's like how it's
Never.
so stereotypical and it pisses me off.
Yep. She's doing her best. She's doing everything she could. And now look at how bad she's got to feel. I feel so bad for her.
Right.
Like
Right.
she was doing the right thing.
Yep.
Exactly
Yep.
what we tell people. If you can't do it, you can't do it. Find the person who can. And he could. He had him in therapy, had him in a good school, he had him in a good house, he had him in a great neighborhood.
Yep. Yep.
The neighborhood did something, what was it called? Jingle baskets, where they had like Secret Santa for houses.
Yeah.
You like
Oh.
pick a house and you would go put a basket in front of it. Like Secret Santa for the whole neighborhood. Like they were
Aw.
involved, right? The whole
Right.
neighborhood.
Right.
Like,
Right.
like the whole neighborhood. This kid had everything.
Right.
And the
right.
mom knew that.
Yeah,
Landon knew he was taken care of.
right, right.
So she could go get better. And
Yep,
she's trying.
yep,
You're right. I know. I hate it too. It makes you crazy. It's my
yep.
button too.
Exactly, exactly. That's what I hear of it, just like, "No, just
um
leave her alone, leave her
the
alone."
letters, Tammy, if you go to Google and just type in Leticia's letters to the judge, you will see them. Um that's where you'll find the two letters that we were talking about. That's what I Googled. Letecia Stauch letter to the judge. Don't know if you can hear me, so I'll go ahead and put it on here for you.
16. Parents are those who put their kids before their nails.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Landon liked to get her nails done?
Oh, I don't know.
Parents are those who put their kids before their nails. Parents, oh yeah, she repeats it. Huh.
Oh, nice of her. Okay. My son burned the carpet. How do I fix it? Well, let me tell you how you don't fix it, Letecia Stauch. I can start
Seriously.
right here. Yep. I can start right here and tell you how you do not fix it.
Yes.
You are most welcome, Miss Tammy. Yeah, mm-hmm. Yep, I can tell you exactly how not to. I hope you've learned
Oh,
your lesson.
s- oh, Letecia Stout learning her lesson.
Yes, I hope she's learned her lesson.
The rest of her life in jail, hopefully, is her lesson. If
I really wish they would show her face because I want to know if any of this is even getting through to her.
right,
She said at one point, she said, what was it that she's so upset and she's I need what is it? Oh, in the letter. In the first letter, she said that she needs time to grieve. And I thought, are you kidding me? That in the first letter, she said that she needed to get out, to be free, and to have time to grieve. Really?
let me see.
I'm pretty sure you can do that in jail. You got solitude, lots of solitude. You got well, there's a book. At least you got one book. I know that.
Right?
I don't know about the others, but there's that one you always get.
Growing pages of discovery. Let's see here if I can find an addition. Uh, legitimate part of the responsibility. These letters are so long. Like I wish she would have made them like I don't know, at least a little bit more palatable so I could read it, but it's so long.
Oh, the
Yeah.
letter?
Yeah, her letters are just
Oh,
like
you could, but you're gonna end up sounding like a. Go ahead, give it a shot. I will mute so I don't laugh. You go ahead and give it a shot.
I'm good. I'm
Because
good.
a lot of our people haven't heard it. They're asking, so go ahead, give it a shot.
I'm good. I'll send it to you guys.
Does anybody out there want Kim to read that letter? What do you say, guys? Anybody
No,
want Kim to read the letter?
I don't really
That'd
want
be
to.
great.
I don't want to finish my night with a headache. Well, I was hoping I could at least read part of it, but I can't find it.
The letter?
Yeah, yeah, the part where she's talking about. I would like to. Oh, okay, okay. What is it?
You
I
get it?
cannot get. I cannot get this behind me. Most part, this trial in life. Forgive those who protected and afflicted me. Continue to be soldier of Christ and repair my mental state, and most importantly, grieve. I need the constitutional rights in order to be successful and participate in this process. I'm a prisoner bound in Christ, like Paul said, but I know my biblicals, I think, not bound. What? Yeah. I also know he appointed people in authority and to respect that because they are chosen to uphold the law. Please accept this as my letter of letting you know, fiat, not grieving, what? Not giving over the court's head
Going
and
over the court's head.
not
She's not
going
going over his
over the
authority. Yeah.
courts. Yeah, okay. And appreciate don't of command, whatever. Something has to be done, sir. Thank you. If possible, to receive an acknowledgement.
Following the appropriate chain of command.
Hallelujah, Leticia. You are a
Amen.
follower of Christ who killed her son.
Praise be.
Praise be.
Praise
Uh,
be. Yeah.
uh,
She said, I know my Bible is not bound. Well, there you go. Yes, more importantly, grieve.
where is my stream? I can't.
Again, it is this just the surface of my concerns, and ask something to be done so I can get this behind me. And I live each day not knowing what will happen to me next, what person will put something in my food, what rights I'll be denied tomorrow, what injuries will incur next. I support law enforcement. I support our military, our country. And I know that a few bad apples incidents can ruin it for good people. I extend my concerns to you as a first step in this because my attorneys have refused to let you know due to public knowing. Good grief, woman. Come on now. Oh boy, that's just the first one. Okay.
Her conviction,
you,
you cannot, you cannot deny that she is.
you cannot. And she even puts in here that she said, I love this part. I think it's my favorite. She says, Sir, you can tell I'm educated. I know Miranda versus Arizona, Esquire. However, she's talking about a ruling, a
Okay,
legal ruling. So what
right.
does that have to do with you? The Miranda versus Arizona case has nothing to do with her. So
Tie
it's
it
like she
together.
looked up a law and she's like, I won, so I'm gonna put it in there.
Right.
Yeah, it's like doesn't have anything to do with you, but
She
okay. I mean,
she she asked the
you
guard,
know,
"Hey, just give me like a court words to say some criminal court
yeah,
judgy words."
right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So yes, you are entitled to have your Miranda rights read to you, and under the Fifth and Sixth Amendments. That's what the Miranda versus Arizona case is. Everybody gets their Miranda rights. So yeah, she gets her Miranda rights read to her. She knows, so she knows that. That's great. What does that have to do with her case? You know, I,
Nothing.
she's saying you can tell I'm educated because I know that. Well, okay. However, a person cannot perform under this scrutiny, abuse, coercion, etc. And that's what has happened throughout this entire process. Oh, Lordy.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's my favorite part. Yeah.
Too much.
Phew.
Let's see
And
here.
the other letter is it's just different. It's not, I don't know. I'm wondering if she made it different on purpose. Look, there's no flow to it. Like, I had a very difficult morning mentally because I am not mentally well. One of my main issues with my attorneys is their lack of ability to gather evidence. That doesn't sound like the first letter, right?
No.
Due to this, I find little value in the term expert. First, they were unable to obtain my medical health records from Charleston, South Carolina, when I finally paid the firm in South Carolina to obtain them. That doesn't sound like the first letter. I'm wondering if someone wrote the second letter for her. I don't know who, but I'm wondering,
Yeah. Let me see.
makes me wonder. I don't know.
Let's see where the second letter is. I have
Nancy
so
said she needs to take my English class. You are correct, Nancy.
many. Oh, I don't know what I did with the second one. I have so many
Expert
tabs
witness said
open.
hit and blood from his room.
Here, put
Yes. Yeah, Bree, he was hit and there was blood from his room to the storage room. There's blood everywhere. His room, storage room, the steps, um, in the garage. Does it mean he was running from her? We don't know. Um, we don't know. She cleaned it up. We don't have. We can't study impact wounds. because his body was found so late, unfortunately, they can't study the knife wounds to see how they occurred, if there was a fight, if there's a struggle. So we don't know. We can't say he run through the house and he got stabbed in the back or he stabbed in the front. We can't say. He didn't. There wasn't enough left of him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to say it nice, but there just wasn't enough left.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
we could. She couldn't even tell how far away she was. Leticia was standing when she shot him because unfortunately he was just too decomposed. So
Yep. Yep. Yep.
yeah,
What do you think about the spatter around the house? As far as we know that the main impact happened, well, we can only assume the gunshot wounds went into his pillow, which
yeah,
was in the suitcase.
yeah,
So we can only assume that he was in a bed. And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
all we can do about anything is assume. But
Right.
that's my deduction for that one. But then there was
That's what
blood.
I believe too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was blood from his room to the storage closet, which makes sense because the suitcase was in the storage closet. There was blood spatter
Yep.
up the stairs. But some of this could
Hmm.
be just something that happened, but there was blood found also. Oh no, not blood, but there was the blue star showed up by where the candle happened. So that could be just really bad burns, is why there
Yeah.
was, so I don't know.
Right. Right. If his burns were worse, we don't know how much he bled. She did say that he bled from his wounds. Now,
From
um,
wounds. Yeah.
someone was saying, I'm not sure if it was Nancy or if it was I'm trying to look. I cannot remember who it was. Um, I cannot remember. Somebody was talking about getting a burn from a motorcycle, and they were talking about how burns are. And burns, I think it was Erica Wells. Burns don't specifically bleed. They
No,
don't.
they
They
bubble
don't.
over.
Yeah,
They
they
create
bubble
a
over. Yeah, they don't bleed unless they're really, really, really bad.
really bad. And
She
even,
said that when she went in and she started talking about she said that there was a fire, and she said that she said, I have to tell you, there's a fire. That I have to tell you things I couldn't tell Al, and there's a fire, and he did bleed. She's like, I will tell you there was blood, and I'll get to that in a minute. Do you remember she said that?
yep, yep,
And she said there was blood from from the burns, and she said there might have been some on his wall from him rolling around in his bed. So she admitted there was blood on the wall.
mm-hmm,
She knew
yes,
that. And I'm
she knew
sorry,
it.
but I don't think if a child burned their arms, I don't think they're going to roll around, rub their arm on the wall, and get blood there. Even if they burn themselves, they're going to get. When you get a burn and it pops, it's like liquid.
Yep,
It's
yep,
what I'm talking about. It's
yeah,
liquid, but it's not blood.
right. It's like a protective layer that your body
Right,
creates
right. So,
to soothe it. She did say he was picking, it, but that could be true or a lie. But she did say there was picking is why it bled, or
that's
no,
what
she
she
didn't say
said.
it. Yeah, it's what she said. But was he
She
really
said it
picking?
was like she said, like when a kid picks at their skin. I don't I don't know about that. People in the chat were asking, do we think that she put him in his bed, shot him in his bed, hurt him in his bed? I do think that he was killed in his bed. Yes, I do.
Just because of the amount of blood under his bed, it pooled
Right.
through the carpet to the mat.
Hmm. And what stained the concrete below? It
Yep,
was that much.
yep.
And yes, Malshi, like a blister. That's what she said. She said it was like a blister, but then today she comes in when she said that it was like a blister, but she said there was blood, and we've all kind of had burns, right? They don't bleed unless he had really, really, really bad burns, or she made him bleed.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, maybe the blood was from what she did to him. You know, then she's trying to explain the blood, like she's using this assault to try to explain a lot of things.
Right. Exactly. Um,
And go ahead.
the Jeb, what is the deal with the ring footage of them leaving together and just returning? So it was 4 hours. They were gone for 4 hours when Gannon and her left. And then on the other side, apparently Gannon got out and they went into the house. Leticia looked like she was running when she got out of the
Yeah,
truck.
yeah.
So was she running after him? Was I'm going to call my dad? I don't know.
I don't know. And yeah, Bree, she was. Yes, she had the audacity to say he was asking about bath salts. There was something that Al brought up. There was a text that maybe went to the wrong person. It maybe went to Gannon. It wasn't supposed to. And yes, Leticia brought it up. Said that Gannon was talking about bath salts. I don't believe he was either. He was a little one, he's a little kid. I don't think he was talking about bath salts.
Yeah,
I don't. I think she was
at
making up her
11.
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just didn't seem like the type of kid, but
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Kids are so grown these days. The stuff that they learn and do at such a young age, wouldn't surprise me that maybe he knew about it, but was he participating? I don't know. I
Yeah.
find it hard to believe.
Yeah. Erica, you were talking about your burn, and you said you were elevated on bed rest. Did your burns bleed? Because I haven't had a burn that bled, but I have not been burned like that. Like I've had a couple burns, but not like that. Nothing big, nothing that needed,
Yeah, third degree or anything like that.
thermazine, right? Nothing that needed anything like that. She did say she put aloe on it. She put a wrap on it. Um,
Maybe if she
she
put the
said,
wrap on
yeah.
it and then she
She's
removed the wrap and peeled the skin off, it would bleed.
maybe she said not at all, and it was a third-degree burn.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, burns
Yeah.
don't bleed. I don't think so. I think that the burns were bad, and yeah, I think the blood came from her, and yeah, I think she. I agree with you. I think it happened in the bed because there was just too much blood there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the
there was
bullets
just
were
way too
found in
much
her
blood.
pillow. Lauren,
Yeah,
there's bullets found in the pillow that was in the suitcase. The
yeah,
shell casings were in there as well.
yeah. Which what is that about? Like, were they in the pillow and she just picked the pillow up? Like they were
Oh,
inside the pillow?
oh, like the pillowcase
Well, think about it. How did the the you said that the casings were in the suitcase?
in the suitcase is how I understood it.
So how did they get in there? She had to put them in there?
Yes, with the blankets, the pillow, Gannon.
Were they inside the pillow and she didn't know it?
I didn't hear they were inside. I heard there was bullets in the pillow,
Hmm.
which they said so they went through and the detective said yes.
So that's I'm wondering because think about this. Okay, let's say that she did kill him in the bed, and then she puts him in the suitcase. She'd have to maneuver him in, and yeah, no, she'd put the pillows, the blankets. She wants to get rid of everything. She
And
wouldn't go and pick up bullets and put them in. I wonder if the bullets were actually in the pillow. She didn't realize it. Just put it all
yep,
in.
yeah, maybe, possibly, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
I don't
Jab
know.
said,
I
"Oh,
don't know
go
how
ahead."
it works. I know some guns have bullet casings and some don't. So I don't know how it works. Like, I don't know anything about how that works. If there was just bullets
Gotcha,
or bullets and casings, but I thought I heard casings in the suitcase, but
gotcha.
I could be mixing it up.
Mm. Oh, that's a good idea. Mooney Nancy was asking
Oh,
maybe shot through the pillow use a silencer. It's a very good idea. Very good idea. And then picked it all up. The pillow's over his face. She doesn't have to look at him. Maybe she turned his face to the side because the bullet went through his jaw. Turned his face to the side of the pillow of his face. That's a good idea. That is a good idea, Nancy. And then picked it all up, put it all in there. Yeah, I didn't think about that. It's a
because
very good idea.
nobody heard any. And
Right.
if it could have happened while Lainey and Harley were going to the dollar store for
Yep.
no, it may have probably before that. I don't know.
Well, it was
This
probably before. It could have been before Elena even got home. Lena even got home, right? Lena got home at 3:15. Is that
Yeah,
right?
she had
Yeah,
about 45 minutes to do
3:15.
all that, but I guess it doesn't take
Well,
that long for it to escalate
well,
into.
not to do the deed, and then Lena would come home. She'd tell her to go outside, and then Harley comes home, and then she goes and gets rid of both of them to clean it up.
Okay.
And she's a
Yeah,
master cleaner, right? She's used to
right,
cleaning all the time.
right,
And
right.
and I mean, she did a good job on the cleaning, but they still found stuff.
Yeah,
You know, they did still find some blood, not
yep.
just not just using the blue star. So yeah, she
I'm a,
did, Bree. She told Lena to go to the mailbox and then ride her bike, and then she told them both to go to the dollar store and get cleaner. So yeah,
yep.
yeah. Mm.
It's all a
So
mystery. Hopefully, it'll come together, but we may never really fully know what
no,
happened that day, even if we do get some of the blanks filled in.
here's my question though. We know this is just story number one, right? So does that mean
Mhm.
that we're gonna have like two more um what do you call it, interviews? I'm calling them interviews. Two more interviews like this? Two
I'm
more
fast.
stories?
I'm fast forwarding.
Because she
No, I'm
hasn't
good.
talked about Quincy Jones yet, right? We still have
Did
to bring in Quincy Jones twice.
do are detectives involved, or is it just the husband that's involved with this Quincy
I
Jones?
I don't know. I
I don't
have
know
no
either.
idea.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I would assume the detectives, because if they're listening on those calls, they'd probably go back to her and say, "Hey, who the heck's
Yeah,
Quincy Jones?"
right.
Or he would get her to go in. Is that when she was screaming for immunity? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Mhm.
when she was screaming for immunity when she said that he fell off his bike and hit his head, and then Quincy Jones took him. Yeah, yeah.
So we
Cash
probably have to
Jackson said,
listen.
"What's that?"
So we probably do need to listen through that because I'm sure she had more than one interview, and they're gonna
Yeah,
bring um, those into play. I wonder how long those are.
yeah. Um,
Oh,
Cash Jackson was saying that she is a nurse and burns don't typically bleed. So
yep.
thank you, Cash. We're wondering about that. We really needed to know. Yeah, and yes, he needed medical attention no matter what. And we think that's the problem, that he needed medical attention. She knew that, and she was terrified. I mean, she laid it out for us today. She panicked immediately. I was gonna freak out. I was gonna freak out. I was gonna freak out.
Yep.
She made it. She built this up. This Al is gonna freak out. Oh my god, I have to fix it. I'm terrible. It's all my fault. Yeah, and you could hear a little bit of panic in there. Like, I think she really, really, really felt like she needed to fix something,
Yeah.
whatever it was. You know?
Yep. Yep. She knew that it wasn't good, and it was reflecting on her because she's always trying to keep up this perfect facade that I'm taking care of your kids and nothing's happening and they're in great care, and then that happened and she's like, "Oh crap, he's going to think I'm a bad parent now."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And well, my question too is, um that she said that Gannon had gas, and it smelled so bad that he lit a candle, and that they let him because he's responsible. Do you think he lit the candle or she did?
I think she did.
It was her who went through the house and was like, "Oh, my house smells so
It's
bad,
so
I
bad.
have to light it."
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
That was her. Yeah, I thought so.
Well,
Yeah,
he might have lit it with her direction. No teenage boy is going to be like, "Oh my god, my farts stink. I should light a candle." 11-year
yeah.
old
They don't
doesn't
care.
care.
They
No.
No, they want them to stink. That's the point.
Right.
You know, little boys go around, "Oh, great, it stinks. Look, listen, smell this." That's
Smell it.
that's the whole point. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Uh, so I'm pretty sure that maybe he did light it, but it was by her direction, or she
yeah,
lit it herself.
yeah.
But it wasn't him like, "Oh, let the
No,
house smell better." He doesn't
yeah. I
care.
smell so bad. Let me make the house smell better. No,
No.
yeah, mm-mm.
Tammy, there was blood detected in the garage, but I believe that's when she loaded the suitcase in the Tiguan.
Yeah,
Yeah, my boys constantly fart on me.
exactly.
Exactly. Do they ever ask to light a candle, an incense, or
No.
ever?
Mm-mm. No,
Oh,
mine is 22, and I remember. No. No, it's like a game, it's like a tournament. Who is better at it? Who smells the worst, you know? So yeah, her saying that oh my gosh, he smelled bad and he smelled gassy, so he wanted to fix it. Woman, I don't buy that.
no.
You find me 1 year 11-year-old that cares what he smells like. Just one. You find me just one.
Just one. Most of the time
Just one.
you have to tell them to shower. You're get in the shower, you stink.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, get in there and use soap. Not just get in there, but use soap. Rinse off. Use a towel. Yeah, come on. No.
Oh,
Those
God.
detectives were probably like, "Are you kidding me?
Exactly. They kept
You've
their
got to
cool
be
though.
joking."
They were just
Oh, they
like, "Oh,
did.
keep telling us you're the queen of
Yeah.
projection." Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess no court tomorrow, so I guess we're on Monday. Um, so I'll have to go
Oh,
through a few days of withdrawal, but it's probably good, so I don't have to listen to her voice for a whole nother day for 3 days. So by then can sober my mind of her voice.
oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh yeah. Today's Wednesday. No court tomorrow or Friday.
Oh no, today's Wednesday. There's no court on Friday. Sorry, there's court tomorrow. What was I
But there's
thinking? It
court
was Thursday.
tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So there's court tomorrow, but not Friday. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. You had me
We'll be here
panic there for a
tomorrow. Yeah, no,
minute. You had me panic there for a minute.
my days are. I'm already planning for what I'm doing tomorrow, but I'm thinking the next day, and so, anyways, we'll be here tomorrow.
You're waiting until you don't have to listen to her. I know what you're doing. I got it.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, let me add some confusion. There's no trial on Friday. We will be here tomorrow, and I hope
Yes.
you guys come back. You guys are a great crowd. I love this.
Yes.
This is exactly why I like doing this. There's so much conversation going, which
Yes.
I could talk about this for hours.
Absolutely be here tomorrow. And hopefully we'll get past her interviews tomorrow. Maybe they'll
Hmm.
be talking about DNA. Maybe be talking about the fact that it is Ganon's blood. Somewhere, anywhere. Somebody tell me it's Ganon's blood. Anybody.
Yes, yes. Bring in a DNA expert that says, "Yep, this is."
Exactly. Why doesn't one of us just fly to Colorado and tell him to put on the DNA next? We can do that, right? Excuse me, prosecutor. I was just hoping that maybe you could put on, their DNA expert next. You could move him up in the ranks, right? I mean, I'm sure he's ready to go.
Give the
Please?
people what they want.
I'm asking, please. There's at least 60 people who want that. At least 60.
At
Come on.
least 60.
All right,
Oh,
wait, Kim. This court takes Thursdays off and is back on Friday. Uh-oh, that's like 10 people said that. One, two, three, four, five. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Erica, and formerly Fossil, and
okay.
Malashi,
Let me Google it because I am totally confused. Let
Tammy, I
me.
agree. I don't think he was using bath salts either. I do think Leticia did that on her own. And Bree, it'll always be at 5:15 Colorado time. But we're just checking to see if court's off tomorrow. We believe it is.
Colorado
Um,
Court. Um,
yes,
Thursday.
and a timeline witness. We would love a timeline witness, please.
Oh my
Seriously, no,
gosh.
I'm asking, please. Oh, and apparently the going rate is a $50 donation. We can do that too, right?
What is the difference between? Okay. I can't just. I'm searching like Leticia. Colorado court Thursday.
Let's
Don't you know
see.
what I'm thinking? Okay, Letecia Stauch. Let me do that.
Imagine us all with our sweatpants, messy buns, and snacks walking into court demanding witnesses. You bet. You bet. I'll even brush my teeth for that one. We can do it. Oh, that's right. We'll have to wear some masks, probably. We don't want to scare them. We'll walk in politely, hold our snacks behind our back, you know, tell the prosecutor how great he is, but we need some timelines, we need some DNA, you know, we'd love some of that now. Oh, and if you could put Harley on, we'd love that too. You just move her up in the ranks, that'll be good. You'll be standing in line
Oh,
to slap the defendant. Can we put her in one of those boxes where you like throw a softball and put her in a dunk tank? There you go.
so this is what
Did you find
I am seeing. It's the
what you got?
12th. That does not make sense. Her trial. Give me some information. Daily trial updates. Okay, let's see if they tell us. Okay, yeah. Okay, daily trial updates. Day 6, day 5. Okay. Why is this so difficult?
Are you under court docket search or did you go to Colorado Springs?
I didn't go under court docket search. Let me do that.
Okay, I'm in the municipal court, city of Colorado Springs. Hang on a second. Mhm.
Maybe
Law and
between.
crime says the judge. Law and crime says the judge works his docket on Thursdays.
Yeah, because the judge said tomorrow, he said, leave all your stuff here because tomorrow, um, something. I'm thinking they have court tomorrow, but everybody's saying no.
Well, the judge can work on his docket and with just the prosecution and the defense and not have the jury, so they can work on putting in putting in what do you call it, evidence, getting things into the court records, things that they need on file. They can work on that without having the jury there. Maybe that's what he's doing. That's what they said. He's working on the um, docket. So he works on his trial, his docket. Hang on. Criminal Court, City of Colorado Springs, Fourth Judicial District Attorney's Office. We could just call the district attorney. Excuse me, sir. You have a moment?
Okay.
61 of us would like to know what you're doing tomorrow.
Right.
Are you going to be front and center so we can watch you, or what's up? Okay.
All right. So I'm going to do some more work to see if I can find it because it has to be out here somewhere. And maybe you're right. He's saying just leave your stuff and then they're going to come back on Friday. But
Judge has Zoom docket tomorrow. Judge is doing virtual other cases tomorrow. Trial resumes Friday. We've got 5 people.
okay. All right. And it says
I'm
it at
going
the
with it.
end. Yeah, okay. Let me did you guys hear that at the end of the court case?
Well,
Did
you have
you
him on the phone. Can you talk to him about saying? Carol said, while you talking to him, can you have him stay next to the microphone? You bet, Carol. He does pretty good, but I'll tell him. All right, let's see.
So let
I'm
me
looking.
okay, let's see
If
here.
it is off tomorrow, I will be going back to watch Alexis Avila be prosecuted for attempted murder of her newborn. That is what I will be doing. In case anybody was curious, Alexis Avila lives in Hobbs, New Mexico, which is near Albuquerque. And last year, she had a newborn, and she went by 3 firehouses. And instead of stopping at one and putting her baby in the safe haven box, instead, she went and put the baby in the trash can. The baby lived. Everybody's safe. The baby's safe. The baby's fine. The baby lived because there were people there that went dumpster diving. And the people
Luckily.
that went dumpster diving found something in a bag. They thought it was puppies or kittens or something, and it wasn't. It was a baby. And so, yeah,
All
they
right, let's
got the
listen
baby
to
out
what he,
and called 911. And yeah, what were you gonna say?
let's Okay, everybody's right. We'll see you on Friday morning.
What did he say?
I'll see you on Friday morning. I am so off. What is wrong with me?
That's what he said.
Yeah, here, I'll back
It's
up a
okay.
little bit.
Yes, Miss Carol, it was awful. Malchi, I am talking about. Hang on, let me put it on here for you.
Yeah,
I am
see you on
talking about.
Bree, yes, it starts at
Bree.
9 a.m. Mountain Time. We'll be here at 5:15 Mountain Time on Friday. Oh, man, what is wrong with me?
Okay, so we have tomorrow up, and then we go to Friday. And Malchi, I am talking. There it is. I'm talking about Alexis Avila. Lauren, about a year ago, she threw her baby in a dumpster, and luckily, people later were going dumpster diving. They found the trash bag she put the baby in, and the baby was still alive, so they got her to the hospital. And got him to the hospital, and he lived. He's living with the dad now. And she had an interrogation, which is actually on YouTube. Anybody who wants to can look for it. Just search for her name. And she just kept
What's her name
saying
again?
Alexis Avila. I put it up there next to Malshi right there. She just kept saying that I'm only 18 and I'm only 18. I just turned 18. I just turned 18. I was scared. I was scared. She wouldn't really say. The investigator kept asking her, "Well, why did you do that?" "Oh, I'm only 18. I was scared." Like,
You want me to play this real quick? It's a
let's
minute.
go out. Sure, yeah.
We learned a lot more today about the condition of the newborn baby found in a Hobbs dumpster in January. It was
Can you hear it?
Yep.
part of testimony in the preliminary hearing
Oh, hold on. Oh, what?
for the baby's mother, Alexis Avila, charged with attempted murder in the case.
Body temperature was so low that it wouldn't even register on the thermometer. They laid him under a heat lamp, and as they were like trying to start IVs and stuff in him, they poked him with needles, and he didn't even flinch. He didn't cry. He was just like kind of laying there, kind of lifeless.
That baby had spent 6 hours in a dumpster in freezing temperatures, but somehow survived thanks to some dumpster divers who heard his cries. Now that baby's mother is facing a hearing to decide if there's enough evidence to send her case to trial. She did already admit to police in an interview that she gave birth to the boy, panicked, and put it in a trash bag in her bedroom.
Oh.
Around until she found a place to dump him. But there have been.
Did you guys see that?
What? Her throwing him in the dumpster?
Oh my gosh.
Trash bag in her bedroom. Yeah. Drove around until she found a place to dump him. But
look at her. She just drives off.
Pregnancy.
See ya.
What the
fuck?
And she just goes home.
Testifying that he knows she was still pregnant.
Was there a certain subject
and
matter?
She did know she was pregnant.
I've been getting miscarriages before.
About a miscarriage?
Yes.
And what did you understand her message to mean?
Relating to be having a miscarriage.
The father says after that conversation, the two never spoke about it again. The baby is now in the custody of the father and his parents and is said to be doing well.
What the heck?
New allegations tonight.
Yep.
So yeah, she got charged with attempted murder and child abuse. So yeah, they can either go with the attempted murder or the child abuse, and they've got the video showing her throwing him in the trash. They've got all these witnesses, and then they've got her. They've got her interrogation where she admitted that she did it, and she passed, like I said, 3 firehouses with 3 safe haven babies, you know, boxes in them. Those things, all you got to do is go up, you open the box, you put the baby in, it sets off an alarm inside. All you got to do is drive away. They don't even see you. They don't even try to find you. That's the point of the box. The baby's
Right,
safe. You
right.
move on. They don't come after you. They don't try to find you. The baby's safe. That's all they care about. But yeah, and he asks her, "Why did you do it?" She's like, I just turned 18 and I was scared and I didn't know what to do." But her interview is stupid because it starts at the beginning and he's like, "Okay, so what happened?" And she's like, "Well, I can't just say it. I need you to ask me questions." Like, what? What do you mean you can't just say it? Oh, her
Right.
interview will make you so mad. Oh, it's bad. I've watched it several times and it just makes me angry.
Oh, you're like, I gotta watch it
There's no,
again.
there's no,
this,
good- there's no
this
good to
woman
it.
is.
It just makes me so angry. But I was afraid that between them and now, that she would charges would be dropped. I thought they'll lower the charges. She'll plead out, or they'll get dropped, or something. But
Right,
no, nope, she's up there. And they said at the beginning, "Is there anything for the prosecution?" No, and he's getting ready to bring the jury in. At the very, very beginning. Anything for the defense? Well, we just wanted to let you know, Your Honor, that Miss Avila does have chronic back pain, so she might need to move and stretch a little. But we wanted to make you aware of it. I'll give you some chronic back pain. You come on over here. I'll give you some back pain. I'm
oh
sorry, I really don't like
god.
that girl.
Well, gosh, look how cold she was. She didn't even politely set him down.
Hmm.
She just was like, literally, she
She tossed
considered
him.
that
She
baby
actually
like trash. Yeah.
she put him in a towel and then she put him in the trash bag. She put a clip on that trash bag. So she sealed it and then
Oh
tossed
my
it. And
god.
then the guy who owns the video, he had
Yeah.
to watch it with the police. He had to watch 5 hours of people throwing trash on top of a newborn.
Oh my
And he said it
gosh.
was the most traumatizing thing he's ever seen because he knew that newborn was in there for 5 hours getting trash thrown on him. And
That
yeah, he said it was so traumatizing. He's the guy who put the video together that was released on Facebook. It's a video of her driving up, tossing him in, the people driving up, them finding him, the police coming. That video was released by him. And the prosecution asked him why, and he said, because it was terrible and I wanted people to see it.
right,
He said it
right,
traumatized me watching 5 hours of someone, tossing trash on a baby. Yeah.
right.
So yeah, her interrogation is awful because she has there's no crying, there's no emotions really. They ask her like something about the baby. I think they tell her the baby's okay. She's like, well, then I want it. And he's like, what if it wasn't okay? And they were like, what then? And she was like, I don't know, it wouldn't change anything. Like, wouldn't change anything? I mean, come on. Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
just give that baby back and we'll just forget about all this? What?
Right, that's exactly what she wanted. Yeah. No who. No.
No, no,
No,
that's
the
not gonna
baby's the
happen.
baby's exactly where it should be.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. I cannot believe that baby survived all that.
Yep.
It's lucky it didn't smother to death. Garbage on top of it,
Exactly.
a sealed garbage bag. Like,
And
what
all the
a
stuff thrown on top of him. Yeah.
evil, evil, evil. That is, oh my gosh. Lauren,
Yeah.
you spot on
Yeah.
because that makes no sense. And you wonder, does this happen? Like, people found
How
this
often,
baby.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Is this a thing that we just don't know about? We just don't see
That
it because we're not finding them?
that's what I was thinking when I saw her do that. How many people do that? My first
Mhm.
thought, oh my god, how many people do that? And
Mhm.
you can't know. You can't watch every trash can.
Right.
That's why I went looking where it was, where her house was, because I got her address. I'm not giving it out, but I had her address. And I went looking like from her address to where she went, was there a medical center? Was there a hospital? Was there a fire station? And that's when I found the fire stations, and there was an urgent care. I mean, she lives in like a pretty metropolitan place. There are places to stop.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And all it takes is just drop them off. You
Yeah.
pull away and you don't look back. And there's plenty of families that are looking for
Yeah.
newborns, especially.
Exactly. And every time I see that, I think the same thing. How many babies don't we see?
Right.
So I'm
Right.
glad she's in court. I'm glad she's being prosecuted.
Yeah, me
We,
too.
we
Me
need to
too.
do this. We need to show people you can't just throw your baby away.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Can't do it.
hopefully there's a message at the end, or at
Right.
least through the trial, that there was other options, because maybe
Yes.
she didn't. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt that she didn't know. I don't know what rock she lives under, but maybe she just didn't know that was an option, that she thought that she had to fill out paperwork and be involved
Yeah.
and you do all, but no.
Maybe she didn't. She did go to a public high school. I mean, she drove her own car. She had her own phone. She had access to, YouTube, Google, the internet. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe she didn't. Maybe she didn't. But
Yeah.
I just, I'm
I was
glad they're not letting it go.
I was big as a house when I was pregnant. There was no hiding it.
Yeah. She kept trying to tell them. At first, she told them that she didn't think, yeah, you couldn't have gotten past me being pregnant. No. At first, she told them that she didn't know she was pregnant, but they had already talked to people at somebody at the hospital. Was the mom of a friend of hers, and had said no, she knew she was pregnant back in August, like several months earlier.
Yeah.
And so the detective already knew that, and he was like, "Yeah, we already know that you knew."
Right.
She was like, "Well, I thought maybe." Okay.
Just
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, just maybe.
Full
Okay.
of crap.
Yeah, exactly, Donna. Exactly. That's what I thought too. How many babies that we don't hear about?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do when I'm not watching Leticia. I'm watching that, piece of filth.
Yep. Then of course there's
That's what I get to do tomorrow.
yep. Then there's Valo, which you
Oh,
can only be a special member to listen to hers, but
oh, that woman, I tell you. And she doesn't want to be there. She's like, let me go home. Let me
right.
go home. She's like, can I go back to jail while you have my trial?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Let me go back to jail while you have my trial.
My back hurts, so I really
Okay,
don't want to
then.
be there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for being here. Sorry about the mix up on the schedule. I wish I could just cut that out. But let's resume here on Friday, and pick up where we left off. You got anything?
No, ma'am. Donna, yes, I have been following the West case a little bit. Yes, ma'am, I have been. Can't wait to see the end. No, but I'll be here Friday with bells on.
All righty, everybody. Have a great evening. Thanks for being here. Love you guys.
Night, guys. Bye.
Good night.